Hello boys and girls. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss another exciting episode, because we like top tips down here. So who better to go and see than Tip Top Terry McGuire. See you in a bit. And here we are. And there he is. Tip Top Terry's here. It's open, how are you, pal?
Alright, lad.
Not bad. Just say we're going to have a look at, we can do a couple of top tips.
Top tips?
From Tip Top Terry.
A couple of top tips. Top tip.
How you doing, alright?
I've got my onions in now.
Righto.
I'm sprouting.
Look at this setup, netted. Oh, hey.
Going, lad.
I tell you what, that's looking. It's looking tip top. That.
Tip top. The onions are ready. Well, they're getting ready for sprouting now. I've got my
Hey, I tell you what, mate. It's warmer in here, isn't it?
It is.
Than it is outside.
Well, before all this came in, I've disinfected everything with Jay's fluid, including the buckets, the beds, even everything's been disinfected inside and out, so it's ready for planting now.
This is a concrete base in here, isn't it?
Concrete base.
All the way around, see.
All my netting's ready for my peas going up when the time comes.
That's right, you do your peas in here, don't
I
you?
do my peas, a lot of peas. A lot of peas.
That looks brilliant as well, as it's all the way around there, so you've got the trellis.
Beans. That part's for beans, that's for my peas. Well, me and Elsie's peas, that's for peas. The bed at the front, which I've made an extra bed, is for carrots.
For carrots?
Yeah, all that gets full of carrots. I make use of polytunnel the best I can.
So you have your peas and your carrots in here?
Peas and carrots. I'm having more carrots there.
Okay.
So everything's sorted in here now, it's ready for growing, Tony.
So can you grow, what sort of beans are you growing then?
I'm growing, they call them miniature beans, they're a bush. You get a lot of beans off them. French beans, it's called a French bean bush. And
right.
I can get...
So like a dwarf French bean?
It is a dwarf French bean, but I can get 5 round there, because they grow that wide, about that high, that's as high as they grow.
Right.
But the beans what come off them, a lot of beans come off the bushes. Doesn't mean to say you have to grow up netting to get a lot of beans. These miniature dwarf bushes,
yeah,
perfect.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
I've never grown dwarf French. I've grown the normal French,
nice.
like.
And the beans on the dwarf French are so sweet, it's unbelievable.
Right.
A lot better than climbing up netting. Because going up netting, you'll probably get the big beans on.
Yeah, the long bean.
The dwarf bean plant, or the bush, they're about, I don't know, 5-6 inch. But the sweetness is unbelievable.
So the flavour is, the quality is better.
Totally different, Tony.
I might try them. On your recommendation.
Honestly, and they don't take no room up.
Is there a specific variety that you use, or
no,
just whatever you can get?
Dwarf bean bush, perfect. Honestly, I can get 5 in that corner, and the beauty is they don't take a lot of room up.
So they'll not be sharing out the rest. So what's going in this front bit then? Is this where you're going to be putting your tomatoes then?
I'm going to put lettuce in between here.
I get you.
Use of everything. Lettuce, radish, young onions will go in between the buckets. And the buckets are for tomatoes and cucumber all in the buckets. So I'll have 4 cucumber and the rest is tomatoes going down.
Yeah.
So you make use of your polytunnel obviously.
What variety of tomatoes are you doing this year?
We've not decided yet, to be honest.
You've not started them yet?
Not started. Shirley's one of them. We're having Shirley, but I don't know what the others want to be. But
is that one that you regularly do, though, Shirley?
I use Shirley a lot.
Yeah. Quite prolific, aren't
Shirley
they?
and Alicante, maybe.
Alicante's another prolific one, isn't it?
Good tomato.
Yeah.
It is a good tomato, Alicante.
So you'll have your lettuces and stuff
in between.
In between?
Yeah, use it up. But it's just so doing nothing.
You're right there.
Use it all up. Or even, you don't have to put your dwarf beans in the bed, you can put them in here, you put them anywhere you want them. Because they're only that wide. They're only about a foot They will be about a foot wide by about 18 inch high, that's all they are.
Right.
But the beans what come off them, they're coming off in droves. They're unbelievable. We only use them because they're a sweet bean, very sweet. It's like eating sugar, honestly. They're really nice. I mean, you can still have the big green beans climbing up the netting, but we prefer the bush beans.
So we was on about tomatoes before. Now you were showing us something.
I'll show you. Top tip Terry coming
Top tip coming up from Terry. Look at these for well-tended beds. Shows us all up, Terry, you know. Look at all that. Beautiful.
Top tip coming up.
Top tip coming up.
I had these given me. They're empty cartons what shops throw away. They're no good to the shop.
It was Italian cheese or something that was in them, wasn't
It
it?
was a pizza shop this, and when they've emptied these, they skim them.
Right.
I don't know what comes in and whether it's tomato or what, I don't know.
But Ken was saying it was cheese. They had it.
Well, cheese, and I took them, and I thought, what can I do with these? So it suddenly hit me. Drilled them, the drain holes,
Yep.
fill them to the top with soil, and when you plant your tomato seeds, put 6 seeds in.
So just 6 seeds, boys and
3
girls,
that side and 3 this side.
in a tray like that.
Leave them, forget them. Now when your tomatoes get about 3 inch, you usually have to take them out and repot them.
Yeah. Because they'll use up all the growing medium,
You can
won't
let
they?
them grow as high as you want in this, and when they get, I don't know, 8-9 inch high, just put your hand in, take it out and put it straight in the bucket where it's going to grow. So you don't need to repot.
No need to pot them on, and that'll minimise the damage, the potential damage to the plant, won't it?
As much, but just get hold of it that time, put it straight in your bucket,
Up and out.
so you've got 6 tomato plants where you don't have to repot, because it's that deep, they will grow as high as you want them to grow.
Straight in the bucket or straight in the ground, wherever you're going to be putting
Rather
them.
than going to the tip of the bin, that's the idea I've got, and it's a cracking.
And it's a good example of reusing and recycling, isn't it?
Perfect
Repurposing.
example. It's same with if you have collies, cabbage, anything.
You can let them grow to a
Do
planting
not
size,
sprinkle the
can't you?
seeds. If you want, you can get probably 9 cabbage seeds in there. And when they get 2-3 inch, do the same again. Take it out, put it in the bed.
You could use a spoon or something for them, couldn't you?
I
Spoon
use a
them out.
tablespoon.
A
'Cause I
tablespoon.
don't like handling them if I can help it.
Yeah.
Tablespoon under, just over top,
Yeah.
and then straight in the bed they go. And
Yeah.
then you don't have to keep repotting them till they get bigger and bigger.
Just steady them with the leaf, don't you?
Right.
You don't really protect it because you don't want to damage that stem, do you?
Never ever touch a plant with a root. Always the top.
Yeah,
Because you can
the leaf
damage
at the
root
top.
moving it.
Yeah.
But that, they was going to go to the tip, so I thought I'm going to use these,
It's alright, mate. Yeah.
and that's the
Yeah.
idea I've come up with. Rather than repotting them, you don't need in there.
I'll have to get. Well, Ken's put some to one side for me. I'm going to have a go. I think we've got 3 different tomato varieties that we're doing,
Yeah.
and 6 of each is what I want. I want 18. So that'll be ideal, won't it? 3 of them.
The secret about this is don't overseed it. Don't sprinkle seeds in.
So it's got time. It's got
Tomatoes,
space.
If you put 3 down that side, 3 down this, give them room to grow. And when they get to that high,
About
all
8
you
or
have
9
to do
inch.
is the tablespoon in, lift it up from the top, and then straight in the bucket, and then you leave it there.
And jobs are good.
Without keep changing pots, bigger and bigger pots. So I thought, that's top tip Terry's idea.
That is, because I think that's a good idea. The more you mess about moving them on, plotting them on, the more chance you've got of disturbing them, haven't you?
Them on with them, because it's that deep, they don't need potting on.
That's about 3 inch, 3.5 inch, isn't it? 4.
Inch deep, that.
Filled up to the top, seeds in.
But they was out of a skip, I thought I'll have those.
Yeah,
And that's the idea I've come up with. Which is not a bad idea.
it's a good idea, that. So,
you don't need to keep handling them.
he was on about the beds,
The beds.
the preparation in the
I'll
beds.
tell you what preparation I've done. These 2 are onion beds.
Right, so these are going to be for the alliums.
The certain onion I have, and I've always had for the last 12 years, is Centurion. Always Centurion.
Right,
And I'll tell you why. They're good storers. I've still got 24 onions at home from last year, and they're still as hard as rock. If you get Sturron or any other make, they might be good onions, but they don't store.
not as good as a Centurion.
Centurion is the number 1 for storing. I'll be filling these with Centurion onion, as you've seen in the tunnel.
Yeah, the starts.
What I do, I put chicken pellets on, bloodfish and bone on, but I don't use a spade to turn it over. Never ever use a spade to turn an onion bed over.
Right.
Because I use a hoe. Because if you use a spade, you're digging the chicken pellets and the bloodfish and bone down into the bed. But an onion's roots only grow 1.5 to 2 inches. So they won't get the chicken pellets, what you've dug in.
It's not going to be where they need it, is it?
No. So we'll use a hoe on an onion bed. You can see the chicken pellets are still on top.
That's what I did, and I'm sure you told me this last year. That's what I've done with mine.
No,
My garlic and onion.
Dig an onion bed. Hold
I hold the feed in.
An onion only go to 2 inch max.
Yes.
But they won't find the feed if you dig it with a spade, because your spade is going to take it about a foot down, 1.5 foot down.
So really, you're wasting it, aren't you?
You're wasting it. So
Yeah.
always hoe beds. Always hoe them.
Yeah.
That's the best thing to do with them.
Look who's here.
Barry, go in, lad. There's a cup on table, but I've no water. Have you got a flask?
I'm getting it.
I'll be with you in a bit. These 4 here, Tony. These 4 beds are for potatoes.
All for spuds,
All
these?
4 of these.
Yeah.
And the potato I use is an Irish piper.
That's what I
And
use
I've still
for the
got
main
them,
cropper.
Tom, from last year.
They're stored, aren't
They've
they?
still kept well. I've done the same with this. Bloodfish and bone chicken pellets on all 4. But I've double dug this, and in case they don't know what double digging is, I've turned it over once, then I've gone deeper with the spade and turned it over again, so the chicken pellets go right down as far as I can get them, and that'll hit the potato you're planting, and that'll feed off them to produce its potatoes.
And you favour the chicken manure pellets?
I swear by chicken manure, and I'll tell you why, because if you get horse manure or whatever manure, it's fine. But when spring and summer comes, you'll be on your knees all day picking weeds up.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of weeds in horse manure, a lot of weeds. With chicken manure, as you can see, I never have a weed. Never ever.
Do you not have much trouble with weed on here then?
No.
Because it always looks immaculate,
Because
this.
I only use chicken pellets. I
Right.
never use manure ever. I put it on once and I was picking weeds all summer that year, and I said I'll never do it again. Since I put chicken pellets on, there's not one weed anywhere, and there's never been one weed. That's all I do. But
So all you'll have to look out for is the dandelion,
the odd weed will pop
yeah,
up. I'm not saying
dandelion
it's free.
seeds landing on, isn't it?
But with potato beds, you double dig, and a double dig, it's hard work. It is hard work. You dig down, spade deep, turn it over, rake it, and then you dig down again and try and get the spade as deep as you can down. That's a double dig, and then you turn it over, rake it again, and that's your manure going right down to the bottom.
All the way through the growing medium.
Exactly.
Where it needs it.
The manure will land its same place.
Are you doing any first earlies, or are you just doing the Maris?
I always do mains, I never do earlies. Tom.
Right.
Never do earlies. I never do earlies, you know.
Any particular reason, or just
I
can't
just
be bothered?
like growing mains, and they see the self to the self, and then I can concentrate on doing all the other beds then.
Yeah.
Because if I do my earlies, I'll have to dig them up, move them, then I'll have to double dig and feed again, put the mains in. It's not worth it. I'd rather just have 4 big beds of mains, and that sees me in my half.
That'll see you through.
All straight through. Straight through.
So have you still got some left from last year?
I've got potatoes, I've probably about £10 left from last year now. And they still are.
So it's not far off getting the full year out of it,
I
really,
get
that
the
is
full
it?
year out of all this veg.
Yeah.
It's same with the leeks when I put the leeks in. I dig them out, my wife trims them, cleans them, washes them. You do not need to blanch leeks. Cut the tops, bottoms off, chop them up, obviously wash them first, chop them
Yeah.
up, straight in the freezer. They don't need blanching. They
Just
freeze
store
well.
them. Yeah, they do, don't they?
And we've got bags of leeks, we've got 2 big freezers. That's the reason why, because we store everything.
Do you have a chest freezer?
No, with 2 stand-up freezers.
Right, I get you.
And the leeks are fine. Everything she freezes. With the sweet corn, you blanch. You've got to blanch sweet corn. So what you do, you clean that, you just wash it off, take the top and bottom off,
Yeah, so you've got the
boil
car.
it,
Yeah.
but boil it only for a minute, 2 minutes. Then you put it straight in ice cold water
To stop it cooking any
to stop
further.
it cooking any further. And then you dry it freeze it, and it's lasted ages. There's a different way of freezing veg, that's the trouble.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just... It's same.
So you don't have to blanch the leeks?
No, just wash them, clean them, take the top and then chop them up in a bag, straight in freezer. Leeks don't need blanching.
Brilliant.
And we've been doing that for, well, I've been on here 13 years, and we've done it every year, and the freezers are full of leeks.
So what else are we growing then down there in them beds over there? A full plot too, well, almost a full plot too, with territory there.
By the way, all the bird houses and ornaments on the sheds I made.
You made that little plant, that raised planter there as well, didn't
the
you?
raised planter there.
And the shed and all that.
The
Like.
shed, I made all the ornaments. Bird boxes I made. It sets it off a bit, it makes it look a bit nicer.
Yeah, it's pleasant. It's like a proper garden, this, isn't it?
There's a tip here with these two beds I'm having trouble with. Because the soil is...
It's getting claggy.
It's getting claggy, the soil, and I've tried everything. I've put sand on it, everything on it, and it will not stop clogging up. So last year I did an experiment. I put beetroots in that one,
Yeah.
and beetroots in this, and they took beautiful. So beetroots will withstand cloggy soil.
Yeah, that claggy soil.
So the only thing I can do with that is put beetroots back in the same bed. Because beetroots, we had a good crop last year, and I wouldn't have thought we'd have done with lumps of soil, but I've tried everything and I can't get the soil, and I know why. Because the water's running off the tunnel and it's going under the bed and clogging it.
Right.
So to solve that problem, beetroots grow no trouble in cloggy soil.
So that's it. Horses for
That's my
courses, isn't
problem
it?
solved. So them two are my beetroot beds. That's my collie bed. I'll be putting all year round collie in them.
Yep.
Cabbage bed, I only use Savoy.
Only Savoy,
The beautiful cabbage.
the crinkly cabbage.
Beautiful cabbage Savoy. And it usually gets 12 collie, 12 cabbage in each bed.
You not do broccoli?
I don't do broccoli, we don't like broccoli.
You grow what you eat, don't you? That's the
Yeah.
thing, isn't it?
Them's my collie and cabbage bed.
They're both brassica beds then, cauliflower.
Bed. Now before I plant on there, it'll be the same. Chicken pellets, bloodfish and bone, but before I put that down, I will douse them two beds. And I mean douse them in lamb. Because
For the club root.
like lamb.
Yeah.
They like lamb, plus it stops the club root.
Yeah.
So it'll have a good dosing of lamb, both beds, before you even start feeding it.
They don't mind a bit of alkalinity, do they?
No, they don't.
The alkali
They like-
side, the lime.
They don't like acid soil brassicas.
But club root loves acid,
Well,
so that's how it's
Lamb, I'm hoping,
yeah.
is going to kill the club root.
suppress it. Have you had any trouble with club root?
Not since I've been putting a lot of lamb on, no. I've had the odd little club root, but nothing
Nothing major.
This one's going to be my courgette bed, because I planned all the beds as I'm going along. That's
Yeah.
the courgette bed. That'll be the leek bed. And then the two M1s is my sweet corn beds.
Alright, so you get a sweet corn. That's a good spot actually, because plenty of sunshine down there, isn't there?
I always get good sweet corn on them two beds.
Yeah.
No, I'm alright yet. There's some pots in shed for you. Near door, on top. Some pots in shed. No, on floor as you go in on your right, there's a pack of pots for you. But the sweet corn same. All the beds are same. Bloodfish and bone and chicken pellets is all I use.
That's what you use.
No fancy fertilisers, and it's never let me down yet. Never, ever let me down.
Well, they're all pretty organic, aren't they? Bloodfish and bone. There's no real chemicals in that. It's natural, isn't it?
I mean, it's everybody to their own, but I will not touch horse manure. I will not touch it.
Yeah, for the weed problems.
Even sometimes it can burn your veg. I'm not saying, you know, if it's fresh, it will burn your veg. But I've been mowed out with weeds with manure, and that's why I won't use it. I won't use manure.
You got lots of those little bird houses, haven't you, knocking
You know
about?
what I mean?
You do them as well, them butterflies.
Yeah,
They're cool.
dragonflies.
Dragonflies. Yes, they are.
Dragonflies.
Dragonflies, not butterflies.
I make them on my scroll saw.
And that's for your strawberries along your fence line there, isn't it?
And we don't know whether to put strawberries on or to set it off and put flowers in.
Right, yeah.
We don't know what to do. I think this year we're going
Like
to
flower
fill it with
planters.
flowers to set the fence off.
Right.
So we might put marigolds in, pansies, whatever.
All along.
The bed at the top, Tony, I'm sorry, it's not.
No, it's alright. It's a beautiful plot, this, pal. It's a credit to you. All properly done, these posts, see?
Yeah, all properly done. I made the bird table as well. This one was a box, so I put legs on it.
It's one of them pallet collars, isn't it?
So I put legs on it. That half, as you can see, them will be moving up. That half's for strawberries.
Yeah.
This half will be for young onions and radish. So it's like 3 crops in one box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're utilising the space, aren't you?
You've got to utilise the space. You've got to utilise it.
No, it's lovely, that, mate, isn't
But
it?
it's set now, ready for growing. Well, this half is, it's been fed. But the hardest job, I know it's an hard job, but it pays off, is double digging the potato beds. But I have a Quasimodo when I went on.
I look like him every day, me, though.
But if you look after them, Tony, that's the kind of soil you get. And it's farm soil. And that's what you get.
A good, rich soil, that.
But the beauty about onions is they love farm soil. They don't like soggy soil.
Yeah.
Onions, well, that's farm.
So you've got to find your spot, haven't you, for it?
Yeah, and the more you dig, the finer it goes. But like I said, this needs another hoeing yet, because the chicken pellets are still on top. Once all them's gone, I know then, you only need to go 3 inch deep, at most 2.5, 3 inch deep.
With your feet?
With your feed, but don't dig it, because your feed will go right down.
And the rain will wash it into the soil as well if you leave it close to the surface.
Yeah, it will wash it in, but I always hoe an onion bed. And the secret about onions is they don't like weeds.
You always get good onions, you as well, don't you?
I get some belting onions.
I know last year you had them in there, didn't you, drying?
Yeah.
And there were some beautiful ones.
Another tip with onions, plenty do it, plenty don't. You pick the onions out, right? I'll sit with a chair on a table with it. You peel the skin off as soon as you pick them. Peel the skin off.
And let it brown off.
Cut the roots, so you've got like an onion with no skin. I usually get 5 in a bunch and I hang them in the tunnel, right? And within 2-3 weeks they go brown again. That is the proper skin on an onion.
That's
the proper skin is not the skin you pull out. Peel that skin off. You're not doing no damage.
No.
Hang them up, skinless, and you'll find out in 3 weeks they start going brown. That is a proper onion skin coming on.
And it'll store better
and
that
it
way.
stores better then. Because your skin, you take off when you pull them out, it's hanging everywhere.
I thought that might be a thing, because you can get the moulds and, you know, the white rot and stuff like that. Yeah. Generally tends to be, if you catch it in time, on the outer skins, doesn't it? So if you get rid of that, give them a bit of a wipe off.
Leave them with no skins, hang them up with no skins. For 2 or 3 weeks they go brown, and that's when they start going ahead then, because they're encrusted in a new skin.
Yeah, in a fresh, tight skin, if you like. Yeah. Good stuff.
But plenty hang them with the skin.
Let's get round here,
before
Paul.
they pull them up, and that's what happens, they start rotting. Because it's not the proper skin. The proper skin is when you rip the outside off, hang them up and they go brown, that is the proper skin. Yeah. And that's how they store with that new skin on.
That's what you want to do, guys.
And that's how they do it, Tony.
Listen to Tip Top. He knows the score.
If you find any of these, get them, honestly.
Well, like I said, Ken's put us some one side there.
I'm going to be putting tomato seeds in here.
Yeah.
Well, drill the holes, obviously. I'm going to put tomato seeds in, 6 seeds. I don't want to overcrowd them. When they come up, all you have to do, lift them on your palm of your hand and drop them in your bucket.
Same with your cucumbers as well,
any
in there.
Any seeds, apart from farm seeds, you'll not be able to do farm seeds. But that's the. I've just thought, what can I do with these? And that's the idea I've come up with.
Well,
you don't have to keep repotting and repotting.
You're saving your time, you're saving your chances of damaging them there, aren't you?
Definitely.
How's your new neighbours? All right, it's Henry's niece, isn't it?
I mean, the tunnels are right off.
Tunnel needs sorting, doesn't it?
Waiting for plastic for that. But she's doing a planting. She's a good gardener. Doing the planting.
She's getting them in, isn't she?
Yeah, she's painted the shed, and I mean, she's only been on a week, a fortnight, but she's getting something.
I think it's coming. Well, it's about 10 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's getting the stuff in.
Do more.
Belting.
And then to finish it off, I've just renewed all my paths with wood chips, because if you don't, you'll end up with slutchy feet and everything.
You'll have to let me know when they get a drop. Because I'm at work, aren't I? It's hard to get hold of it.
And I didn't know. I was sat here.
Ken was supposed to ring us the swine, he never did.
And then I were walking off and I see them. I thought, oh no, if I don't get them now, somebody else will have them. So I spent 2 hours Saturday morning putting new wood chips on the paths.
It does make it look neat and tidy, and it suppresses the weeds. It stops the mud coming, doesn't it?
If you don't, it'll just end up boggy with sludge and everything. So
a quagmire.
It's ideal.
Thanks very much, mate.
You're welcome, Tony.
Always a pleasure.
Welcome, anytime.
Tip top to you, McGuire.
Anytime, tip top to you.
We'll do I've been saying to Joe before, we'll do a catch up about once a month and see progress, like see how it comes up.
Oh, that's the phone.
Thanks very much, mate.
No problem, Tony. Take care, everyone.